If there's one thing that every international student is confused about when it comes to US college applications, it is deadlines. Now, these are really hard to understand because there's so many of them. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to track college applications, what do different deadlines mean, which is the best deadline for you, whether you're applying for an undergrad or a master's degree, and more importantly, how do you organize all of your college applications? Because let's face it, you're not just applying to one or two, you're applying to 5, 10, sometimes even more than 20 colleges. So you need to stay on top of all of the requirements, documents, and everything they're asking for. First, let's understand the different intakes. Now, there are two types. There's the spring and fall. Now, spring basically means that your college will start in January. The second thing to note here is that very few colleges actually offer this spring intake. A lot of the elite universities, Ivy Leagues, these colleges do not have a spring intake. Now, on the other hand, when it comes to the fall, this means that you'll start your college in August. All of the colleges in the US will offer a fall intake. This is like what they have. Spring is optional. Lastly, because this is like the baseline and all colleges offer this, that inevitably means that they offer the most amount of scholarships. There's more chances for you to get financial aid, merit scholarship, especially for international students. So once you choose which intake you want to apply for, it comes down to managing all of your deadlines, because not all the colleges have one deadline. Let's say one college has like a deadline of January 1st, another college may be January 5th, another one may be February 15th, and a fifth college may have a deadline in March. So all of these colleges should be grouped together so you can understand and work on them as per priority. And the best place to do this is through Akiflow. So Akiflow is a task organizational platform where you can block off time and actually organize your tasks for the week or the month all in one place. Now, basically, you can have your school tasks, integrate Google Calendar, email, and directly transport things from like email all the way into Akiflow to make them into actionable items. So to see Akiflow in action, I asked one of my mentorship students to share their entire like workflow. And what you see on the screen right now is basically how Akiflow looks. And if we take a look at like this calendar view, just on like a bird's eye view, basically you can plan out your entire day. So on the right here, you have your entire calendar view. On the left, you have your tasks that you have pending for the week or the month. And then all the way to the left-hand side here, you have your inbox, labels, tags. So let's just break down each of these things. Now, going over the calendar, basically you can just kind of like pull and drag to make a new event. As soon as you do, like blocking off maybe time 8 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. on a Saturday, it tells you what type of event you want. Let's say, for example, you have dance practice. So you would type that in, and let's say I want to make this into a yellow color just so it stands out. And this is only for this Saturday, so I'm going to leave it as this. Otherwise, I would do like a repeat event, which means I could repeat every Saturday if I wanted it to. So let's say every Saturday, dance practice, and that's about it. So if you click out, you have this time blocked off for dance practice. This particular student, for example, she has school from like 8 a.m. to noon every single day from Monday to Friday. So she has that blocked off. She's added in different tasks in the school day. Let's say she has like MUN practice, for example. She needs like letters of recommendations from her teacher. So just as a reminder, you have lunch blocked off and different types of time slots to maybe work on essays and different activities, for example, math tuition, violin classes, the Incognito Blueprints Research Bootcamp, spring meetings, a TOEFL exam for the weekend. So all of this is right over here in a very easy to understand and organized way. Now, adding tasks is very, very simple. Basically, you would just go into your inbox and go into add a task by clicking this. And you would think that, there are a lot of like items that you have to fill out, and you don't have to do all of that when you're introducing a new task. So basically, let's say that I have a new essay that I need to write for Dartmouth College. So I would just write Dartmouth College and hit enter. That's about it. It just adds that task for you. Very straightforward. The point here is that when you think of something that you have a task to do, you just add it to your inbox. And here over on the left side, you can see that the inbox says number 1. So let's say I add another task, book a movie. That gets added as a second task in your inbox, and your inbox now says 2. Now, whenever you have time, you organize these tasks. And what I mean by that is, let's say I open up Dartmouth essay, I can plan this task. So under plan, I can see that when do I want to get this done. For example, let's say I want to get this done by November 11th. So you can add that, and I need maybe an hour to work on this task. I would add a label because saying that it's in like a regular decision deadline. I would maybe add a tag that says college apps, and that's pretty much about it. You see that you have one task, which is Dartmouth College. Now, if you scroll up, you can also like drag this task and add it to a specific time slot right over here. So it gets added to your calendar in a very straightforward way. So let's say I'm using Akiflow to understand and plan out my college apps. So I have these labels as different decisions: rolling, regular decision, early action, and early decision. I can maybe add another label that says activities. So I can add that and track those activities as well. Next, we have tags. You can kind of like think of these as categories. So you can add multiple tags to your different tasks. And if I were to kind of like go into all of the tasks section over here, I could see that you can see what type of tasks are me time, college apps. We have a bunch of these tasks. And like I said, you can drag them onto the calendar. So if I were to open November 6th, open that up, I have an essay time slot for 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. I open this time slot up and I can see that I have 4 tasks for this time slot. I need to get my Yale essay reviewed, brainstorm the Harvard essay, get the Drexel essay reviewed, and the Cornell essay brainstorming. So basically, you can block off times on your calendar as events, and within those blocked off times, you can add different tasks. Akiflow can just be used for you to have like a second brain to remember everything and anything you need regarding project planning, homework, college applications, and it's the easiest way to make sure you don't miss anything, especially when you're kind of dealing with different college applications, different deadlines, and all of these different essays, more importantly. Now, overall, I think Akiflow is a great platform just to get a hang of organization and professional skills. Even if you're just a student, it really helps to kind of understand this type of technology because it is used in the professional world, working with all sorts of agile Scrum platforms like Jira, Slack, Notion, Google Calendar. It's something that, workplaces do irrespective of what major you're in. So getting used to and in the space of something like Akiflow will really, really help you. And you can also say that you are proficient with like task management platforms, just another skill to add on your resume. So if you guys are interested in Akiflow, you guys can get a 60% discount using the link in the description for this video. And the process is extremely simple. All you have to do is simply sign up, and during the sign up process, declare that you are a student, and that's pretty much about it. Akiflow also provides a one-on-one user onboarding process, which means that someone will be there to help you throughout the entire onboarding steps, so students can opt for that while signing up for Akiflow. Okay, so let's get back to the deadlines. For those of you that are thinking of doing an undergrad degree in the US, you will likely be applying for the fall 2024 intake. This means that you'll start college in August of 2024. Now, US college applications open exactly 1 year before this intake, which means that August 2023, that has already gone, colleges have opened their applications. Now, Akiflow has been used by students in Harvard, Stanford, Yale, and Cornell. So this is like a tried and tested method by students at some of the top elite universities in the US. You do not have to wait until you finish writing your board exams to actually apply. It's not like a one-day application that you fill out and you submit. The entire application process takes time, and colleges want you to apply when you are currently in class 12. Before you give your board exam, before you get your results, you would have finished applying to US colleges. And you'll eventually submit your grades, just not right now. If you wait until you finish class 12 to start your application, that means that you'll only start your application maybe around May or June of 2024. You will then be applying for the next fall intake, which will likely be fall 2025, making you a gap year student. So for all of those students that are currently in class 12, you need to apply right now to make sure you don't become a gap year student. For those of you that are in class 11 and class 10, do as much groundwork as you can. Give your SATs, your TOEFL exam, AP exams, get all of this done. So by the time you're in class 12, the only thing that's left for you is maybe to brush up on your essays, submit your applications, you're done. As for the spring intake, I'm not going to discuss the entire process because the colleges that offer a spring intake, they're very poorly ranked, they don't give out scholarships, so I honestly don't recommend that any student applies for a spring intake. do the fall intake, that's the one you should be aiming for. For those of you that are trying to apply for a graduate degree in the US, which means that you are aiming for a master's or a PhD program, you will start your application as you enter your 4th year of undergrad. If it's a 3-year degree, whichever your final year is, when you enter your final year of undergrad, that is when you start your application. The process is very similar. You apply 1 year before you actually want to start your next degree. Now, the interesting or confusing thing about graduate applications is that there are colleges that have different deadlines, but then within that college, there are also department-wise deadlines. Now, in general, all graduate deadlines typically fall between December and March. And in this case as well, I would recommend that you aim for the fall deadline, not the spring deadline. Same reasons, very few colleges offer the spring, they're poorly ranked, and even the funding isn't so great. Bonus deadline for like anyone applying to any program, there are rolling deadlines out there. They also fall into like a spring and fall category. Rolling deadline means that there's no like deadline as such. You just apply whenever you want to, and whichever the next intake is closest to you, the college will consider you for that. Again, these colleges are not like highly ranked, the ones that offer rolling, but it is something, it's better than nothing, so just something to consider. So that's all that I had for this video. That kind of wraps up the different types of deadlines and what I suggest to you guys. If you guys want more organization side of things, definitely check out Akiflow. Like this video if you're watching till this point, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.